All right. How you guys doing today? That's right, Michael Shaw. I kind of wanted to do a little update on my experiences at last weekend's Comicpalooza. For those who don't know, Comicpalooza is a Comic Con here in Houston, Texas. It happens usually once a year. Usually happens around the Memorial Day weekend. In the past, it's happened once in June, which was 2016, when I think it was Apple or somebody had requested Memorial Day weekend so far in advance that Comicpalooza had to bump theirs back a month. They did it in July the last couple of years. I think in 21 was because of COVID, and then 22 was they were just, I guess, playing with stuff. But I'll tell you some pros and cons. I've been going to Comicpalooza since basically 2010. First time I saw it in 2010. Well, first time I ever went was 2010. Excuse me. I didn't go in 11. I didn't go in 12. For some various reasons. But I've seen it grow. The first time I ever went, if you're familiar with it, if you're not, I'll tell you everything. First time I ever went was 2010. It was one day. It's usually a 3-day event, sometimes 4, because like I said, the Memorial Day weekend, sometimes they would stay open on Memorial Day. Went in 2010. It's at the George R. Brown Convention Center here in Houston. The first time I ever went, if you go up to the third floor, it was a small little ballroom, and they had the con there. And if you go back, actually Comicpalooza started in 8 and 9. It started in 2008, and then it had another in 2009. 2010 was the first year at George R. Brown Convention. But they had it at this ballroom, small little ballroom, but everything was in there. It was kind of reminding me when I went to the pandemic tour, the first year that they had it in the NRG Park. Small little, same thing with Amazing Con, small little section. It was fun. I mean, I had back then, and I missed 2011, 2012. And when I came back in 2013, again, 3 days. I only made it one day, and I noticed they had it on the con. And ever since, or the con floor, the convention floor, the first floor, and ever since then, I've noticed it's gotten bigger and bigger. 2015, it was 3 days. 2016, I noticed it was again 3 days, and this time they had stuff going on the first and third floor. The first floor was the big convention. Third floor, they had panels going on since 2010, since Jump Street, since they started. 2003, 2015. I noticed that they had. I know they had I saw there was some over the top wrestling, wrestling. I think it was. Some wrestling promotion. There was also, they're trying to be funny or something like that. I don't know. I kind of forget. I haven't seen them back. The top floor, I've seen bands play. Some unknown bands play there. They've had set up where some bands I heard of were supposed to play. In 2015, I wandered up there a couple times, and I think once on a Saturday or Sunday, and there was a Celtic band, like a Scottish-Irish band playing, and they weren't bad, and they were playing they played some Cranberries, like Linger and Zombie and stuff like that. They were pretty good. I never caught their name. I need to maybe look them up and Google them one day. 16 was great. I had fun, and 16, 17, and I don't, be honest with you, well, of course, and let me finish this up before I tell you, get into the pros and cons. So, 2020 was, what it was. We had COVID. Say what you will about COVID. But a lot of things got canceled, and one of them was Comicpalooza. it canceled for that year. Most people backed up their con or stuff like that to get stuff fixed. Comicpalooza canceled. Say what you will. And then I don't know, the last 2 years, now 3 years, it's just, I don't know if they're trying to catch up with what they lost in 2020 or what, but it's, bro, I'm going to tell you the pros and cons. First of all, number one, let's start with the pros. I had fun, but then again, I try to make the best out of every situation. There's a lot of things I didn't like, which I'll get to in a second. There's some stuff that was okay. I got a chance to meet William Shakespeare. Not Shakespeare. Yeah, if you can meet William Shakespeare, I will cast you in any. And I'm talking about if you meet William Shakespeare, the writer, I'll cast you in any movie I make. But not some William Shakespeare, some Joe Schmo 3 doors down from you, the real author. I met William Shatner, Captain James T. Kirk, big Star Trek fan, so I met him, got some pictures with him. It was fun, awesome, finally got to meet him. Closest I've ever been to him was back in the day, back in 2015. I went to the Space City Comic Convention, and he did a Q&A, and he was like I was in the second row right in front of him, and he was talking about, if you guys know anything about documentaries, if you know a gentleman named Ken Burns, he's a documentary, and his most famous movie, or famous documentary, is called Baseball. They break it up to like 9 parts. Each part covers like almost some decades. Well, the first couple parts covered like decades, but once they get to like, I think part 3 or 4, it's like, I think like the first part was like up to the 1900s, and then the second part was like 1900 to 1920, then something like that. Then it covered the 30s, the 40s, and 50s, and it was nine parts, nine issues or whatever. But he called them innings, because there's in baseball it's innings. There's 9 innings to a game, so he called each version, each volume of an inning. And he brought up William Shatner. He was bringing up his he was talking about Ken Burns' baseball. He couldn't remember either Ken Burns' name or baseball. But he's like, I think he said, who's that guy who did baseball? And I said, Ken Burns. And he pointed right at me. He goes, that's right. And so for like the longest period of time, that was what I banked on. I said, yeah. Captain Kirk pointed at me in a convention. So I finally met Shatner. I got to talk to him. I got a picture of him. I don't have anything of him to sign. The autographs were like $120. So I was like, yeah, fuck that. Excuse my language. There's gonna be some language in this video. Cat's out the bag, or like Chappelle said, "Wanna see my face?" There's gonna be some language. I met Mick Foley back in the day when I was a wrestling fan. Mick Foley was awesome. I got to talk to him for a little bit, tell him how much I appreciated that. But I had fun. But like I said, I'll try to make the best out of any situation. All right, so let's go on to the cons. So first things first, when I got Shatner's picture, it was I had to go to so many lines. First of all, I had to get in a line. Well, the first line you had to get in was the line to take a picture with him. And I was waiting in line, and the line was ended, blah, 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 blah. So, this part has a good, ending to it. So, go up, and it's a table. You got to get in line in the table, which is basically it's a line to get into the line. You get to the table, you tell them what you wanted to do, you kind of paid for it, blah, blah, blah. Then we got to the line to go meet him. We got up there. We finally got up there. We, Excuse me, I'm sorry, so worn out. I did the convention. Today's been my first real day off since I had it. So I'm kind of still a little tired. But so we had to go through like 2 lines, just go up there and talk to them. So my friend Aaron spent like an autograph and the signature was pretty much a lot. Anyway, but so another con to it was they opened on, since I've been going, it's been, like I said, 3 to 4 days, depending on if they went over the Memorial Day weekend and they did anything on Memorial Day. Most of the time they did Memorial Day, but usually, like I said, usually Fridays they go 12 to 8, Saturdays they go like 10 to 7, and then Sundays they went like, I think 10 to 5, maybe 10 to 6. And if they were open on Memorial Day itself, they ran 10 to 6, or maybe 10 to 5. Well, since COVID, since 2021, let me get that sun glare out. Since 2021, Fridays have been cut down from 3 to 12, 3 to 8. And they used to have a lot of stuff going on after, like Comicpalooza, like kind of like parties going on, and the celebrities went up there. I think they had, on Saturday night, they used to have celebrity karaoke, which I think they still did, but there was really nothing going on after Friday night, which was, used to always have like a lot of stuff going on after. They used to have like cosplay awards, best dressed cosplay. Maybe a friend of mine named Landon Kibbett goes up there, and he's a magician, and sometimes he will host best cosplay, or he'll host some kind of party or something like that. And there wasn't any major big parties or anything like that, which I thought was kind of weird, because they always had some kind of, not party where you're sitting around drinking, but it's maybe it was. I never attended any of those, because there was always extra money and everything like that. But so you had nothing going on like Friday night. You had the celebrity karaoke going on Saturday. Not much going on Saturday. But so they opened the con for excuse me, on Friday at 3 o'clock. And my friend Lenny Kevitt, like I said, he's a magician. And they told me, hey, you got a show on Friday at 3 o'clock. Which I thought was kind of fucking ridiculous, because 3 o'clock is an alright time thing, but a lot of people the floors are just open. They're not knowing of when, your magic show is on. They know it's open, and everything. They don't know, and there is a lot of, like back in the day, there used to be a lot of Q&As, and I used to go to a lot of them. If I liked the person, I would go to it. It didn't seem like there was, I guess there may have been some Q&As. I just didn't hear a lot about it. There was no really advertisement for it. Maybe there was online, but I would always kind of, kind of hear about it, and they would have like, guides, like a guidebook. You could look it up, and you could see, like, at on Friday at 1, whatever celebrity is there, Yeah, excuse me, throw names out there, like, okay, Saturday at 1, there's Tom Holland, Saturday at 3, Bill Pullman, or, whoever's, Bill Pullman was there in 2016, he's now dead, but, so you could see what panels, what, blah, blah, blah. I guess everything's going digital, but this was actually the first year that I didn't go to a panel, because I just didn't know, what panels were what. And also, there really wasn't that many guys I would want to go to their panel. And, because I didn't know a lot of people. I'm not trying to make that. There was 4 people there, that, sorry about that. That went blurred. My phone was, something was coming in. But there was like 4 people I would have gone to a Q&A with, and maybe 3. It was Shatner, who I've already been to. I've seen 2 of his Q&As, so I don't know. I didn't want to. First 2 were just to say, then Mick Foley, then Louis Diamond Phillips would have gone to his, and then Carl Urban, but Carl Urban canceled. I guess he's got something going on. But I remember we had walked over there, like I think on Saturday, like at like 1:30 to get in line with for Shatner, and they're like, yeah, he won't be back till like 4. So I was just like, damn, well, where's? And it was like 1:30, 1:45. I'm like, that's a 2-hour, gap. Was he doing I don't think he was doing photo ops or anything like that. So when we got, that brings me up with a con. When we went to go take his picture, we had to get into like a couple lines, and then the photo op. Right when we got to my friend Aaron to do the photo op, they got canceled. And we were looking at some of the people's photos, and it was them and Shatner, but there was some plexiglass between Shatner and whoever was behind the pictures. Luckily enough, we kind of made the disgruntlement to Shatner that we wanted to take a picture, and we weren't allowed. So the handler, him and the handler, like, why can't you take pictures? And we told them what happened. They're like, oh, we'll let you take some pictures here. And so the picture we actually took, like I said, we took pictures. But that was a con, or that was a pro, or a con, or Shatner may say con, like a Wrath of Khan. But yeah, it seemed a little bit bigger. Back onto the cons of the con. It seemed a little bit bigger this year, which was actually not really a con. It's actually a good thing. It was good. If it's gotten bigger, that's good. It just didn't seem like a lot of people were there, which is, I guess, not a good. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Just there wasn't a lot of stuff going on and everything like that. Will I return next year? On May. And the reason why I say I may is I kind of, every year I keep telling myself I want to go to Texas Frightmare weekend, so it kind of really depends. They both fall on the same weekend, so I'll almost see how it plays out. But you guys take care. Oh, excuse me. You guys have a good weekend. Hopefully you guys can rest some more. I'm gonna have some more videos coming up. Actually started movie. I'm pre-production in a movie, so I'm gonna kind of start out going on with that. Start promoting more stuff. I'm gonna try to have more videos up. But anyway, this has been a long video as is. It's already 18 minutes. So you guys take care. Have a good weekend and have a good night.